Center of the storm, none other than a Kanye West, and this time he's not holding anything back in a jaw-dropping twist that's got the entire industry clutching their pearls, yay, just exposed. Kris Jennifer allegedly helping Diddy pay off his witnesses behind the scenes. But y'all, it gets even messier. Kanye is claiming that Diddy didn't just stop at writing checks for silence. He allegedly footed the bill for Kris Jenner's new face, a little nip, a little tuck, and a whole lot of hush money. According to Ye, Kris wasn't just in the room, she was playing chess while the rest of us was playing checkers. Is the Kardashian matriarch really mixed up?
Really rude. Kanye was like, I think it's weird, like we've never met his family.
That's weird.
I mean, of course, we've all felt that way and thought that, but for Kanye to just so bluntly say that to him, I feel like that was the wrong choice to make at that time.
You guys sit and talk to Kanye, and if you talk to Kanye, he's gonna put that up here and run with it.
I mean, it is weird. I'm not saying that
we're all different. How about you used to be weird? We all
up in Diddy's dirty dealings, or did she trade secrets for surgery? And is Kanye finally peeling back the curtain on Hollywood's most toxic alliances? Y'all, the rabbit hole runs deep, deep, and we're about to go all the way. And let's get into this shocking tea and talk about it, because once you hear what Kanye has to say, there's no going back. If there's one thing about Mr. Kanye and what he's going to do is keep his foot firmly on the Kardashians' next. He's been messy as F since his divorce from Kim, and we can't even count how many times he's been spilling some very nasty secrets about the family, and now he's out here claiming that his former mother-in-law, Kris Jenner, was allegedly one of the many people.
24 hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well, come to find out, this person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. And this Lou Taylor woman is also on the board of Hillsong's church home. Follow me, go with me. They are doing all of this, child, in the name of the Lord. Just follow the story. Now, to cover myself, everything in this video is alleged, honey. This is what I digged up, and I don't know how much truth is to it, but there's reportings, okay? So everything that I'm saying is allegedly. Keep that in mind. So, Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% tithes to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever. So I was like, let me look into this Lou Taylor person. I'm thinking Lou Taylor was a guy who was a woman with a husband, a whole husband, and they doing ministry and everything. Now, mind you, y'all remember the whole thing with Britney Spears? So come to find out, Lou Taylor, this gets deep, y'all, hold on. Okay, so Lou Taylor is the CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment. She's like a business manager icon. Now, Mike, do y'all know the Lohans? What's the Lindsay Lohan? So she apparently, allegedly, she has been behind most of these stars' conservatorship situations, especially Britney Spears. So before we talk about Britney, Mike Lohan, which is the Lohan girl, Lindsay Lohan's daddy, accused Lou Taylor and the mama Dina Lohan for trying to put Lindsay Lohan in a conservatorship concerning her money. Also, allegedly, there's a lawsuit from 2021 with Astroworld tragedy, and she's being sued for employment discrimination. This is what this Lou lady is. Now, Lou Associates maintain intense control also over Britney Spears' life and money. And she was behind even the conservatorship of why Britney Spears had that conservatorship, because she ended up becoming the business manager and took over the financial pieces of Britney Spears' whole situation.
Helping Diddy bribe his witnesses and victims. convincing them to keep their mouths shut. Now, I'm not going to lie, this Kris Jenner part is pretty shocking, but to be fair, there have been rumors of Diddy allegedly silencing witnesses, so he's been accused of a whole lot of things, including bribery, and even as far as straight-up intimidation. So people he used to work with closely with Diddy, including former bodyguards, personal assistants, and various industry insiders, have been quietly talking for years about how he supposedly had a system in place to protect himself from scandal. And these insiders, y'all, they claimed that he didn't just rely on legal teams or reputation management. Instead, they suggest he had his own way of dealing with things, and these situations got messy. But like I said, that included everything from locking people into airtight non-disclosure agreements to simply paying them off with large sums of money to keep them silent. For example, y'all remember that footage of Diddy putting his hands on cash at the Continental Hotel, right? Well, turns out that he allegedly paid a bribe to get the footage back from the hotel. He thought it was the only copy, but karma. Psych, there was definitely more, but that wasn't the only bribe that he paid. Because according to reports, while on duty as a security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles in 2016, Flores said he was called to assist a woman in distress, and upon arrival, discovered Vento and Combs, who was caught on security camera physically hurting his then-girlfriend, as seen in the video submitted in the evidence shown in court. Flores testified that Combs told him that pair were arguing and that Vento tried to walk away with her phone, but Combs told her she wasn't going to leave. According to NBC News, the former guard also described putting his body in the doorway for a few minutes until Pinto left the room. When the security guard began to leave, Combs allegedly offered him what?
I've received numerous tips that all are very, very similar. And these tips came from individuals who have claimed to be familiar or know Corey Gamble from when he still lived and worked in Atlanta. Corey was once a performer in the adult film industry. Multiple people came to me sharing this information and that they had seen him while they were working on certain sets, and obviously I am not going to share their identity for their own protection.
Flores described as a bribe with a three-word command. I started to leave, and Combs called for me, Flores said. While in the witness stand, he had a sack of money and he threw it at me and said, "Don't tell anyone," but that's not all. Because a former bodyguard reportedly told an independent journalist that there was what he described as a slush fund. According to him, this was a stash of cash